If you were given a superpower, what would you choose or be?
If I was, maybe I would to have the ability. At first, I wanted to get into films. So my first project was to assist as a director, AD, for Zanjeer, this film, which is big. I was a big Priyanka Chopra fan.
Yeah.
And I was still in first year of college, so I was ecstatic. But the experience was such that I realized that direction is not for me. I think the biggest achievement so far, would be the love I'm getting from my country, because I've been away for so long, and I felt, as much as my heart was always here in Nepal, but I felt so disconnected because, I didn't know the language well. Yeah. I couldn't speak to people properly in Nepali.
Recording? We've had this situation when the sound has not been recorded.
Yeah? Oh shit.
So we just want to make sure everything's fine. Everything's good. We're going to keep these anyway, because these are like the good ones. Good to go? Good to go. Right. So Sabali Talks episode 7. And I'm very excited to have this guest in particular. He's like the sweetheart of the nation at the moment. And I was talking to my cousins about doing a podcast with him, and they were so excited, and I'm very excited as well to learn from him, to hear his stories, and then just get inspired from this as well. So let's just get started.
Hi, what's
Parakram.
up? Thank you for the kind words of introduction.
You are the sweetheart of the nation.
So
everyone's been talking about it. Yeah, everyone's been talking about it. Good, very good stuff. Like I've heard amazing stuff, and obviously from Lemmy as well, and general people as well. People that don't know you, they just find you so like jolly, happy, and I think they're getting a lot of like inspiration from that side as well. So today, I just want to, let's say, expand on that a little bit more, and then those guys who are there, let's hear your side of the story as well. Things that you've done, school that you went to, and everything else. I just want to, this is going to be a good one. I think this is going to be fun. Hopefully it's fun for you as well.
It is.
All right, let's just start off with Q&A before we do anything else.
So like a little is this like a rapid fire Q&A or?
It can be, but it doesn't have to be that quick. You can take your time. Yeah. It's not yes and no questions. Right. Which is your favorite Nepali song?
Currently,
or all-time favorite?
Is all-time. I never have all-time favorites, but currently I'm obsessed with. There are too many songs. There's this particular song called Rato Ribbon, and it's a really nice and sweet song. Yeah. And it's been 3 months I've listened to it, but I'm still kind of obsessed.
Is it not Tees song?
No,
it's not.
I don't recall any Tees songs coming this year as much as there was last year.
Yeah.
So that for now.
What about all-time favorite?
All-time
if you
favorite
think one like that comes to your mind straight away.
There's this there's this song from this movie called Dreams, and it's this song Samragi and Anmol Kesia in it, and Timi Samu Bhanni. I think I was obsessed with that song for 2 years, so I could say that would be like my longest reigning favorite song.
Okay. What about your playlist? What would you prefer listening to? What's your playlist like?
My playlist is actually nothing. When there's a new album that comes up, I just listen to it, and if I like it, I keep listening to it. And usually my playlist is Bollywood music. Like that's what keeps me going. My workout is like Bollywood music. It just I've grown up watching Bollywood films, so that's my favorite genre.
Yeah. I prefer listening to them as well. Sad, fun, anything.
Yeah,
they've
everything.
Got so much variety, haven't they?
They've got so much songs.
Yeah. So
definitely that.
Right. We're going to talk about your workout later on, because you have a good physique as well. So we'll talk about that in a bit. So the second question is, if you were given a superpower, what would you choose or be?
If I was, maybe I would to have the ability to listen to what people speak about me. That would be a superpower.
Does that matter though?
I would like to know what people think of me.
Yeah.
And especially like I think in the work that I'm doing, I like to know what people think.
Just get
me.
feedback.
Yeah, get feedbacks from the right people or from the people who hate me. Why do they hate me? It's just interesting to know.
Yeah, just their perspective.
Yeah.
It's not that necessarily going to affect you.
Yeah.
But just want to hear.
I'm a marketing student, so I want to know what they think of me, and so I can know how I can be better.
I'm telling you, they are talking good things. as a general public coming here, they're talking good things.
There are a lot of
and even
haters
me
too,
when I was watching your stuff, it's fun. It's good.
I'm glad.
Honestly, doing well.
Thanks.
Very
Thanks.
good. Right. Would you rather go to a club or a party, or stay at home and watch like movies and just chill?
By party, you mean house party?
House party, or it could be like clubs.
So in Kathmandu, definitely clubs, because you get to meet so many people. People are so kind to me. In Mumbai, it would be either a house party or mainly sit down and chill. Like in Bombay, I just sit down at home and maybe watch a movie and chill.
Yeah.
So Kathmandu clubbing, Mumbai at home.
Fair enough. Different location, different preferences.
I'm two different people in different cities.
I think this is just it's not even a question. I said, there's a lot of fans in UK as well. And there's a lot of fans. There's a lot of fans in India, a lot of fans in Nepal. Globally, you've become this thing now, a good profile basically that people look up to. Any shout out that you want to do? Anything you want to say?
Just thank you. I mean, so many people who are not in Nepal, outside Nepal, the NRNs, they shower me with so much love. So, I mean, I've said thank you to all the people in Nepal and India so many times. But thank you guys who support me from outside of Nepal and India. It really means a lot. There's so many people from YouTube and TikTok where, I see I'm like London, USA, Japan, Australia, and it feels good.
Yeah.
That, they are up to date with what they want to be up to date with what people in Nepal are doing. Yeah.
More than here, I guess.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. What was this was like the toughest moment that you had? It could be in Mumbai when you were trying to find work, or what was the toughest moment that you remember?
I think the toughest moment, one would be when I was bullied in school. Okay, that was for 3-4 years. So that was quite tough. But growing up, once I was out of school, would be when I worked with this particular stylist who was just horrible. And she just was so bad. I had to leave in 24 days.
Straight away.
That's a long time though, but yeah, still.
This was early days, I guess.
Yes, you could say so. Yeah. Early, mid, in between.
Yeah.
There was this big stylist that I got an opportunity to work with, and even though people were like, don't work with her, she's horrible, I was like, no, I'm gonna work. And it just lasted 20 days. After that, I was like, I resign in happening.
At least you tried. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, people are horrible, aren't they?
People are.
There are a lot of people that are like...
Yeah, it's a competitive world, and...
Especially in the industry that you are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of competition, I guess.
For sure. Competition, there's a lot of plotting and planning and groupism.
Yeah.
That happens India and Nepal in our industry. So yeah, it is pretty hectic.
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is momo and butter chicken.
What, together?
No, separate.
Not mix it up.
Yeah, not mixing it up. That would be yummy though.
Yeah.
Now that I think of it.
Probably would be. I think it would go well.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What is one thing that you miss about Nepal when you're abroad?
The food, the people, and also the style. Yeah. Then Bombay, I'm not too picky though. I don't care if I dress well, I'm comfortable, it's okay. But in Nepal here, when you dress well, the people who appreciate it all over. You could be anywhere in any part of Kathmandu I'm talking about. People are so well dressed here, and it just feels refreshing. Being a fashion student, for me, it feels so good that wow, people are so like fashion forward in Nepal. Because I won't say only Kathmandu, because Pokhara and the cities I've been to, they all are so fashion forward.
Yeah.
With whatever little resources we have in this country.
Yeah. Most of it's Western influence, but with, as you said, with the limited resources,
Korean
as
Asians,
well. Yeah.
Asian,
from that side and the other side as well. So, and I think it's a nice blend that I've seen. I do appreciate that as well.
Yeah, we really blend things well here.
And you can never be stylish enough for Kathmandu. I think there's always someone that's doing more than you are.
For sure.
Even you being a model, I think you would appreciate it.
For sure. Definitely.
Right.
So it feels good. You feel comfortable here.
Yeah. Right. Final question is, this is just a Q&A. This is about your journey. I think we're going to talk about this anyway. What was the first project that you landed, and how happy were you?
So I'll say two first projects because they were both in a different field of work. So I wanted to get into films. So my first project was to assist as a director, AD, for Zanjeer, this film, which was big. I was a big Priyanka Chopra fan.
Yeah.
And I was still in first year of college. So I was ecstatic. But the experience was such that I realized that direction is not for me. So then I wanted to go to fashion. And the first job that I got in fashion was Vogue.
Okay.
So that was also
Massive
great.
name.
So I've been lucky, touch wood. Even though I was in a completely, like, a new city where I didn't know anyone.
Yeah.
It really worked out well for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of luck, but it's a lot of looking forward to.
Yes.
As well. It's a lot of manifestation.
Yep.
I talk about manifestation a lot, but
I totally manifested it. And yeah, then you have to be determined and you have to believe in it and work towards it.
yeah, definitely. Okay. We've come to an end of the Q&A round.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a little icebreaker. I do this, and it loosens people up, and then when we move into the main section where we talk about your life, and everything that you've done so far. So let's talk about the first thing I want to talk about is your education, your studies. You said you went to Rajasthan. You studied in Rajasthan. What was that like? Were there Nepali there, or were you the only one?
We were one of, there were like 5-7 of us out of 1,000 people, students. So we were very few. It was really scary because I was only in class 5 and till I was 10, 11 years old, I was in Nepal studying. But when I went there, it's so different. The culture, everything. And it was an all boys school. I was always more comfortable being around women.
Yeah.
And it was scary. It was really scary. It felt like, and you're in a desert and like, it's the property is so big and it just felt really scary.
Which school was that?
But Mayo College.
Mayo College,
It's
okay.
boarding school,
Yeah.
which was amazing. But it started off like, where am I? Like,
Yeah.
which world am I in?
How did you get there then? How did you get to Rajasthan?
So my parents, my grandparents, everyone's been to boarding school in India.
Yeah.
So we were to go to boarding school and we were having this whole Maoist revolution happening.
Yeah.
Around
At
the
that
2000s,
moment,
early 2000s. So we were set to go. Mayo was a known school, and we had an aunt in Jaipur, which is very close to where my college was. So my parents put me there.
Okay, fair enough. And you completed your
Class 12.
Class 12.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you said you went to
Then I went to Bombay. Yeah.
What was that like? What did you study there then?
So Bombay, I studied advertising.
Okay.
I majored in advertising, but mass media is what they call it. That was so much fun. I got to learn so much because I wanted to be a filmmaker, but my parents were like, no, try doing a more course where you can choose many options in case you don't want to be a filmmaker. And thank God they said that, because when I interned for the film in the first year, I was like, I don't want to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And if I'd already started studying, I would have wasted that time. So yeah, it was good. Mumbai was good. It was really exciting.
Yeah.
You know, from boarding school to get out and be free. Mumbai is a city of dreams, Bollywood, and it was just very exciting.
I think that is the main hub, isn't it?
Yeah, for film.
To be, and then that's the best place to be if you want to pursue further with whatever you want to do.
I think it's the best city to work, at least in this creative industry.
I guess in the East, I think that probably is the best place that you can be. Be in.
South. More central actually.
Central. Yeah, it's not far east. It's central.
It's not east at all. It's more towards the west, but like south.
Yeah.
Central, south.
I think when I say east, I think that's what people in UK, US,
use for India
anything
general.
further away from them, anything to the right is east. Even Middle East is actually east.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So that was your studies, and then eventually you got into work. So how we've already talked about your first job, but did you start looking for jobs as you were studying, or how did you actually, start getting, let's say, projects?
So actually, while I was in college, I was enjoying life. I was like, these are the last 3 years. Let me study and not focus on work. And after college, then my working life begins. So I wasn't really looking for work. I mean, I got that opportunity to work for Zanjeer, which worked out that as an internship. But after that, I waited for my college to get over.
Oh, you didn't have any project in between?
Little here and there,
yeah.
but nothing, substantial enough for me to be excited about. Right after college, then I joined Vogue, and then my career just took off.
Yeah. So, pay-wise, let's talk about pay. There's a lot of, I think, getting paid to do what you do, especially in Nepal, is difficult, being in this industry. And I've talked to my technical teams as well. They struggle to get payment out as well.
Yeah.
But India is different, right? It's good. So I think that's something that's better. Yeah. It's not always good, but it's better. Maybe not as good as the Western world.
Yeah.
But what's something that Nepal's got to change in that sector then? What do you think is lacking? Is it like lack of funding, lack of...
For sure. There's no funding. But they don't get the money also. You don't get returns. Even if you fund a big amount, you won't get the returns. So we as a industry and the people, we all have to grow in such a way that we support each other.
Yeah.
If a film is only earning 2 crores here and is a success, an actor in India is getting paid 10, 12 crores.
Yeah.
So that gap is there because we're a smaller country, smaller population. So that'll always be there. But I think by the end of it, we need to be more professional. Stick to our jobs, don't overwork people, and pay them well. That's what's important, because we live in a city which is so inflated in the sense that everything is so expensive, and salary, we don't get as much. You could spend your salary in 3-4 days of going out to an expensive restaurant, So I don't know, it's quite messed up. There's a lot that needs to go around.
Yeah, I guess there's a factor of politics as well that's involved, and then people not coming in, big investors not coming in and investing in Nepal. I guess all of these has got to change somehow.
Because there's potential. There's so many viewership. There's so much viewership in social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, every social media. I mean, there's so many people watching, viewing, supporting the creators. So there has to, in this field at least, they underpay us, and there has to be a way where they pay you more.
Pay a bit more.
Because they're getting so much returns.
Yeah. I guess the only problem is they are scared that they're not going to get the returns in time, or maybe not get returns at all. So they pay the people that they need to pay a very small amount. Yeah. And that actually demotivates people, don't they?
For sure.
And you don't, like the next project they come and approach you, you don't really want to work for them. Oh yeah, you didn't pay me for the first time.
Yeah.
Why should I work for the second time, right?
Yeah. And this influencer marketing and social media marketing is something so new, because I think they literally started this in 2018-19.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good start. Let's say that.
Yeah.
It'll pick up because people are growing in social media, and now these advertising methods, these traditional methods of advertising is now getting changing, and it's important for the agencies, companies to know that, understand that the only way they can get returns is now focusing on social media as well.
Yeah.
So I think it is changing. That for sure is changing.
And I've seen a lot of creative people here, very creative people, but they don't get in the opportunity.
Yeah.
And that is something that is very disheartening, I think.
For sure.
And what they got to look for other options, or either change professions. And this is something I want to touch about is passion. You got a passion, but if the passion's not paying you, at some point you're going to get frustrated, right? Yeah. So how do you follow passion? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So for me, I always followed my passion, but that resulted in me properly earning money after I was 25 years old. Yeah. Say 24. But I started working since I was 20. So it took me 4 years to earn money. Those 4 years, I followed my passion. I made sure I earned enough to be able to survive.
Yeah.
But I guess it took me 4 to 6 years to finally start earning slightly. There's a long way to go for me still. But I think you need to be lucky first to follow your passion, because everyone isn't privileged to just follow it and not earn money for 5 years and just work on their passions. Yeah. Like, they get frustrated. They can't survive. You follow your passion as a side hustle, but give it as much importance and have another way, your main source of income.
To generate.
To generate. And slowly start shifting towards your passion as you start growing.
I love that. I really love that. And this is something I've been trying to get across to people through this podcast is you have to follow a passion.
For
yes, but also there is a transition that you have to wait for. As you said, you waited for nearly 5 years.
Yeah.
People want instant gratification. They want quick success.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen. No matter how rich you are, no matter what your influence is like, it's not going to happen overnight. So you have to have that passion. And the whole podcast is called Sabali. Sabali actually means patience.
Oh, wow.
So you gotta have patience.
That's nice. That's interesting.
Yeah. So have patience. And as you said, you gotta have something like a side hustle that you gotta work towards.
Yeah.
You have to work. So and this is a saying that I always keep in mind. Your 9 to 5 that you work actually pays for your living.
Yeah.
Anything that you do after that pays for your dream, basically.
Yeah.
So you have to, if you want to work for dream, you have to,
Yeah.
hit hard, basically. Keep going.
You need to work that extra hours for your passion. It's an investment in the future.
It is an investment, yeah. Instead of putting in stock, you might as well invest in yourself.
Yeah, invest in yourself.
There's a lot of talks about this Nepalese stock going on. So ever since I've come, everyone's been talking about this.
Yeah.
Nepse, this, that. I'm like, just like, give me a break, man. I need a little break from this.
Yeah, it's been booming apparently. Hey?
Yeah, it's been doing well.
Yeah.
And so all these people that have never invested in their life, they've come into the market with a huge capital. And they've been putting money in, hoping for a good return, but risk, massive risk, right? That's a saving that you could have actually invested in your passion or something like that. So you can use money like that. People say, I don't have money, but they do stupid things and they spend it elsewhere. They buy like a very expensive designer clothes or something like that. And then they say, oh, I'm broke.
Yeah.
There's ways.
I've dealt with that too growing up.
Yeah.
Styling. I was like, oh my God, I want cool.
But you have to do that as part of your profession as well.
But now I've become wiser. I'm like, I can't spend that much money on a bag. I'd rather save it and travel. I'd rather save it and invest in my own business and just improve. Later in life, I will have enough money to spend and
do what you want.
Yeah. So I've learned it. I've learned it. I don't know if it's the hard way. I enjoyed spending my money on expensive things, but then I was broke, like you said. So now I don't do that. I'm very careful now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something I think you have to do is just keep your savings. Yes, invest. Like we don't know if we're gonna be there tomorrow. That's another thing. There's an uncertainty with life itself. So yes, there's a factor that, I want to live my life today, YOLO. You only live once. Yeah, have that. 50% of that, 60% of that. But the other 40, be wiser as well.
For sure.
But another thing is the age factor. I think it plays a massive role. So when you're 18, 19, 20 or growing up, teenagers, you want to spend, you want to show off, you want to do this. That's quite damaging, I think, on the long term. And once you get to 25, 26, you're like, you know what?
For sure, yeah.
It's never it's a lesson. Not a loss, but a lesson, I think. Yeah. But it's just age. And then you learn, I think. And everyone goes through this.
Yeah.
It's not just us, you, me.
Sure.
Everyone goes through
People want to spend, you're to prime, right? Till 25. Or you just want to enjoy it till you can. You're in the college years. Yeah, you learn it. You learn it the hard way, or some people don't learn, then they just
never learn. Yeah, true. What do you consider as your biggest achievement so far?
I think the biggest achievement so far, would be the love I'm getting from my country, because I've been away for so long, and I felt as much as my heart was always here in Nepal, but I felt so disconnected because, I didn't know the language well. Yeah. I couldn't speak to people properly in Nepali. And I've been in India for so long that disconnect was there in the sense that I felt disconnected with the people.
Yeah.
But my heart was always here. So to come back here and just get so much love, I think is the biggest achievement.
You've done fantastic in that department.
I still haven't digested it fully. It happened so quick. But I've always wanted this. In Bombay, I've always wanted it. And I worked so that I do well. Yeah. And it's come now. And now I want to go back to Bombay and do the same there.
Yeah. Your vlogs are quite popular. When did you actually start vlogging and thinking that this could actually become something that I can, people can watch and enjoy?
So vlogging was something I was always interested whenever I came back home to Nepal for my holidays. Because I was like, what do I shoot in Bombay? I'm in an apartment.
Yeah.
It's hot outside.
Yeah.
I have nothing to shoot and vlog, nothing interesting unless I go for a holiday. So whenever I came to Nepal, I started vlogging my trip. just stuff, and it did well. When I went back to India, I stopped because I didn't have much to do. So, and then when I finally, the last 2 years, 1.5 years I've been here, I was like, let's start vlogging again. You know, it's fun. There's something to do. And I have the knack because I wanted to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So I learned editing. I've always wanted to be a director. So I have the knack of storytelling, even though it's not so aesthetically pleasing, but it delivers. It's a story. I mean, it's interesting. I know how to edit well. Okay. So I think that really helped to make my vlogs interesting, I feel.
No, they're really good. Really fun to watch. And there's a lot of places within Nepal. Let's talk about Nepal being a tourism-based country. It's always been like that. There's so many places here unexplored. And when you go and do these vlogs, people find these places and they go and they wanna go to that place as well. Like as you said, it's not apartment-based kind of views. There's so much stuff. Like, even just get out of the valley and
for sure. There's so many places. Kathmandu it's so much fun. I'm gonna be so sad when I go back to Bombay because sad, but also I have to go because I'm excited to grow. But the comforts of Nepal, the beauty of this country, and weather, everything is just so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss this as well.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about this is more slightly deeper. Fearful moments, slightly deeper. Fearful moments. So, what was the most fearful moment in your life that you've experienced? And when I talk about fear, it's like something that paralyzes you, something that actually makes you think or doubt yourself. And how did you overcome that? Were there moments like you're like, oh, I can't do this, and I don't believe enough in myself to carry on? Were there moments like that in life, and how did you actually deal with moments like that?
So many times, I think. Growing up while getting bullied, it just took a toll on my self-esteem. You know, you tend to blame yourself for why people are bullying you. So that was the time it definitely took a toll. And then I figured out I was gay, and then I was like, that was very fearful. Like, how do I tell the world when I knew it only by myself? For 2.5 years, it was only me who knew about it. So those 2.5 years were quite scary. But it made me learn a lot and grow because it was such a fearful time to live. That was one time. Apart from that, yes, while working, there's so many times you're in this industry where you have to keep creating and doing well, and there are times where you slack, and then you just get anxious, okay? And it just makes you really anxious. Like, what happens if I fail? What happens if I leave everything behind? Things like that.
Yeah. So, how do you overcome that? What do you do? Do you meditate or do
I sleep it off?
Yeah?
Next morning I wake up fine and fresh. So I just take deep breaths and I'm like, this too shall pass because I don't have control over it. And
that's probably the biggest realization, that I can't control the situation. So why should I focus so much on it? And it drains you out fully.
It does. I mean, it doesn't get so bad for me to take medications or seek help. But it's bad enough for me to feel miserable, and I just ignore it and go to sleep. And
sleep it off.
Yeah, sleep it off.
But you also have a good friend circle as well. So it's always good to be around people that obviously they're working and having the same mindset. But being around people helps as well because you can share whatever you're feeling, you can share with them, right? But that's something that we as a human, or being this figure that we don't really want to express our feeling that much. And that's, I think, is a very damaging thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't share, so it just grows and grows and grows until a point that you explode. And as you said, not necessarily you might need medication, but there are people that are on medication, clinically depressed.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
I think the more you share, with the right people, though.
Yeah.
You can't share with the wrong people.
Yeah.
Because they're going to distort. You're going to come out more anxious.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's good to share. You need to have those 1-2 people who will be able to guide you well if you share.
Yeah. True. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned so far in your life?
Biggest lesson I've learned is...
You can think about this.
I think the biggest lesson I've learned is you could be as popular, as successful if you don't create good, for me, if you don't create good content, no matter how big, how good you are, it won't do well.
Yeah.
You know, there's some videos where I know, oh my God, it's not good, but let me try it out. People really love me and they will support me. No, if you need to, you need to create good stuff. If not, people won't care. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if that's a lesson or not, but that's what I've realized. That
Is it
no
kind
matter,
of like you think it's a failure?
it's a failure.
That particular project is a failure.
You need to give your best all the time and you need to deliver well, no matter how successful, whoever you are. If your work isn't good, people will not care. There are many other things in life to do, to worry about. So, biggest lesson I've learned is to work hard and just be good at what you do and try to make, deliver well.
Yeah. And also be kind, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
Because that takes you very far in life.
That does. It's
talking about the mean person that you had to deal with, whoever that was, stylish, whoever it was. Yes, they're getting far in life, but are they sleeping happy? That's the problem, isn't it? You got to sleep happy.
True.
So what does happiness mean to you? What makes you truly happy? Let's talk about that.
So seeing my family and friends happy, and just for me being
yourself,
being myself, and just being successful at what I do, or just getting some validation or some outcome out of the hard work I put in my work, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
For now.
Just seeing people encourage you as well, I guess. Yeah.
Or just laying down in my couch also makes me happy. I enjoy that.
Just put a movie or a TV series.
Yeah, put a movie, sit down, be on your phone, read a book. Just so relaxed.
Are you watching any TV series right now?
I'm watching Sex Education season 3 is out.
Yeah.
So I've started that, but there's a really funny show called Kim's Convenience. I'm quite hooked to that right now.
Yeah. Are you not into like Money Heist and stuff?
I am into shows like that, but not Money Heist. Money Heist, they had so many seasons and then also different language. I was like, I don't know if I want to commit for so long. But I do prefer more of the action and drama shows than comedy. But as of now, I'm just watching light shows.
Fair enough.
That's going good.
It keeps you going. It keeps you insane during the lockdown, I guess. Yeah. We didn't talk about lockdown. What was lockdown like for you? Like, a lot of people actually kind of lost it. So some people came out depressed. People lost it. They came out depressed. They were actually lost in life. And I've seen a lot of people now that they don't know what they're doing in the future because they think this is gonna continue for another 4 or 5 years. And now they've lost that spark that they had. What was lockdown like for you?
So for me, I'd say it wasn't bad at all. Yes, a big change. I never saw myself coming back to Nepal because I had it all going there in Bombay. So I was like, Nepal for me is holiday and I can't come for more than 10 to 12 days a year for, to holiday because people forget you in Bombay. So that was a big, scary change to come to Nepal and stay here for so long. I still can't believe I'm here for so long. But it really worked out well for me because being a social content creator, I think everyone was on their phones because they couldn't get out of the house. Yeah. So in our industry, it really worked out well.
Perfect.
So it just helped me grow and grow and grow. And it worked out good. I mean, yes, there were a lot of frustrations. I was frustrated 10 times more than I would have been now. There's no lockdown right now, right? I can go out and enjoy and take it out. But then we were more frustrated. So people did see the angry side of me, which is always there. But I was more angry back then than I am now, I feel.
Is there any particular self-discovery that you had during these 2 years?
The anger that I have. I realized, wow, I can get really angry. And I was proud of myself, to be honest. I mean, there were like a lot of Twitter wars going on and things like that. And I did stand up for the right things, but then sometimes it got a little too aggressive from my side, which I sat down later and I realized, okay, I could have been a little more calm about this whole thing.
What were you angry about? Is it a particular topic?
Just anything to do with like people bullying people from our community, LGBT, and just speaking stuff like creators talking, like trying to instigate hate towards our community and things like that. So I was really vocal about it and I will always be vocal about it. But then we had more time to focus on it and work on speaking about such issues. So it was good, but very toxic because
I kind of remember that. I think there's a particular content creator, a big channel. He did some. Is that the one?
That
I
is
remember.
One of the few. I keep it.
We'll keep this because this is quite important. That particular person is not active anymore. I haven't seen him active for some time. I don't know what is happening, but he's also based in where I live.
Yeah, so
it's wrong. Don't do that. Whatever you do like what pleases you, but do not try to stand on someone else's shoes, and do not try to stand, on top of someone else and try to make yourself better.
Yeah, especially when you have such a big platform.
Yeah,
and lakhs of people are laughing about it and making a joke out of it. And even though you say that, I don't mean to make fun or I don't mean to hate on them, but you are totally mocking someone because of who they are, because of their personality, because they're from the LGBT community. And when people from our community come and tell them that they're wrong, they should understand. Yeah, they laugh at, oh, I have gay friends too.
It doesn't
Who
mean
cares?
anything.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
So, and it was toxic because their cult following people, they come and attack and they form armies to like hate and dislike your videos and like spread hate. So that was very hectic, and report your pictures and not let it do well. So that was hectic. And then after a point, I'm like, I'm not going to like only sit and like, I want other people should also speak up. Yeah, I've done my bit. I think like there's so many other people who can speak up about these issues and are speaking up. So I focus on, I let them have their voice while I'm sitting back for now, because I can't handle that all the time.
No.
It is very toxic.
It drains so much energy out of you. Yeah.
It really did during the lockdown. Oof.
That was early on as well, during the lockdown, I think. It was quite early on.
Yeah.
I remember that particular event so clearly in my head.
That was last year.
It was last year,
Yeah, about like June of last year.
Yeah. Fair enough. Let's talk about the LGBT community here in Nepal. And what is it like? I know I've seen in UK it's very open now, and actually there's a law that actually protects you, and it's very high level law. It's not like a general law like if you harass someone or bully someone, they just like speak to you or something. It's not like police speaking to you. You actually get arrested for that now. So in that terms, what is LGBT situation like here in Nepal?
So here in Nepal, we are protected to a certain amount, but by law, but by society and the people, it's not. We are insulted, we are discriminated in workforces. Also, people are discriminated. Transgender rights are at stake. So even though by law we aren't illegal or it's not punishable by law, we still get a lot of hate, and that happens all over. It happens in the UK as well, but way more here. The people don't want to understand, don't want to listen, don't want to learn, and they have their own agendas and they just spread hate. So it is very difficult for people, I think. It's getting better, but we are still far away. People can open up. There are gay clubs, one of that I know of, and it's fun to be there and see so many people, and but
still
a long
early days.
Yeah. I mean, we still unrecognized, at least not we. By we, I mean transgender people, non-binary people are still unrecognized officially. Anyone who's from the LGBT community is considered other, third gender.
Yeah.
Not even other, but third gender. And I'm not third gender. I am a cisgender gay person. So for the government or the law to say that we are third gender and be put in the others category is ridiculous. So they need to be more specific. They need to work more on it. There's a long way to go, because Nepal was hailed as the first country from South Asia to be so forward in LGBT terms, but that wasn't true. It was heavily flawed just because we added the others category, but that itself is really messed up. So I think we have a long way to go, but people are speaking about it. There are so many organizations who are working on, filing petitions and just working on changing things, and I'm hopeful.
Yeah. So you talked about people not being, is it acceptability? People have their own understanding of whatever gender, and then I think people are not acceptable to the fact that, people can be different.
Yeah.
They have the construct in their mind thinking, oh, you can't act like that, or you can't be like that. And they're not ready to accept.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem, I think,
For sure.
that we have, is that we're not ready to accept. There's a massive resistance from us saying, oh no, it shouldn't be like this. And I think that's a very,
that is,
for the community, is a very damaging thing.
For sure, because there's so many people who love you and not have anything against us, and they're just confused about gender, how it works. He, she, they, third gender, and I don't blame them in the sense that the law only says that anyone who's from the LGBT community is technically third gender. So I don't blame them. If they read up, it says that,
In the Constitution, I guess.
In the Constitution, yeah. So what's important is to be accepting and loving towards anyone, and know that different people are amazing as well.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like you.
Yeah.
And that is the first step.
Yeah.
And that's when you'll be accepting to learn more about how it works, the gender system, the sexual orientation. But what's most important is to be accepted, which people vehemently hate on us for instead.
Yeah. It's more hatred, I guess. It's the same with race, religion, caste, and then with LGBT community now. There's so much hatred. It's just an internal. I think people just want something that they can argue about.
Yeah.
They need something. The negative things. People are not attracted towards positive things that much, but the negativity, they love it. You see a lot of wars in Twitter. You see, if there's a positive video, you'd see hardly anyone commenting on stuff. But if there's something controversial or something to do with, trying to provoke someone, everyone gets involved.
Yeah, for sure. It's
human nature. I think,
it is human nature. Yeah. They just take it out on the wrong things, and it's sad. But I think we have a long way to go. But I see improvement. I see people speaking up, and some strong voices speaking really good stuff. And it just, I didn't know there were so many people speaking up here in Nepal, because in India, supporting it. Because in India, this conversation has been going on, and a lot of inspiring people who speak up, and it was good to come back home to Nepal after so many years and see that there's so many people in Nepal who are so well versed, educating people to do the right thing, from a community. So it was good.
Right. As we went in this topic, let's talk about the moment or the early on in your life when you realized that you were feeling different and that you were gay. Who was the first person that you actually spoke to, and what was that like? The conversation, and what were the reaction like?
So the first person I told was my best friend, who was a girl, a Nepali girl, even though I was in India. And I was like, I have to tell you something, like, don't mind. And she's like, no, I won't. But she's like, oh shit, I think he's gonna say I love you. So I was like, oh, I'm gay. She's like, oh, okay. She was so relieved. She's like, oh yeah, okay, that's great. But so it really went well. I made sure that the first person I tell would be someone who would accept me. Obviously, I wouldn't tell my parents the first thing, or someone who I know who will be upset about it, because it's so important to open up to someone who that I trust. So that was about, I think, when I was 15 years old. And then by 17, I think I told my parents.
But that was 2 years that
in those 2 years, I told two, three friends. Then I started slowly telling a few close people, and then it helped me build courage to tell my parents. And by 16, actually, I came out to my parents. So about a year. It was fun. What
did they say?
they were so supportive. I was just lucky. They said they're proud of me for like coming out at such an early age. People don't do that, at least in this part of the world. And they were like, you're brave. And they were obviously worried. Now I'm going to, obviously parents will be worried if you're from a community which gets hate and, bullying, and there's so much discrimination. So they were worried about that, but they respected who I was, and they supported me throughout.
That's it's a fantastic thing.
I was
for
lucky.
family to accept it.
I was lucky.
Because it's always family that either disown you or push you back and try to change you from who you already are. And having such a supportive family, I guess,
for sure.
life became easier for you after that.
For sure. I lucked out. I think if I was born in any of the other relatives that I have, it would have been difficult for me to come out. It's not that my whole family circle, everyone in my family is open. I was just lucky to have very chill parents, understanding parents. And when your parents support you, who can say anything else?
It doesn't matter.
So I think then everyone else had to support me no matter what. So
did you eventually tell the family, or was it like when you told your family, you told the other relatives as well? Or was it like
when I told my parents, I told my cousins, and then it slowly, then I was opening up. So I didn't have to tell them; they got to know. It was their duty to confront.
Yeah, exactly. They would sort it out.
Yeah.
What was the feeling like? Like obviously you were very scared telling your family, and then after you told your family, what was the feeling like? There must have been a massive like a burden that you were carrying for almost 2 years. What was the feeling like when you actually spoke to them?
It was freedom. I never felt better about myself. It was absolute freedom. I was getting ready to go to Bombay. I had 3 months before I, graduated from my school to go to Bombay. It was great. And every night I would go and call someone I love and tell them that I'm gay. And, slowly. It was just so much fun. I was just feeling free. And by the time I went to Bombay, I went to college saying, I'm gay. Guys, I'm gay. Like I'm openly gay. It felt so good, yeah.
It felt so good.
I couldn't do that in my boarding school. I could only tell my close friends because it would be really scandalous. Back then, I think it was still a taboo. But it was the perfect time I was getting out of school, going to college.
Yeah. 16,
15.
15. Yeah. Good age. So let's talk about judgmental people. People that have opinions about you. How do you overcome that? And what can someone, like you have a lot of people have judgmental families. It's not just friends or outsiders. It's actually families that are creating pressure for them. How do you deal with judgmental people? And what can you do as an individual?
So, right now I just laugh it off and I can't care less because I don't want to get into that whole energy with such people, because I've spoken about myself and I've spoken about why it's wrong, and if people still want to be judgmental, that's their bad. But it started off with me like really being affected by it because, like I said, I love to know what people think about me. And it was never good in the beginning. First, there was more hate than love. And then only my friends would be the one, showering love. But somehow things like my posts started going viral, and then I started getting a lot of love, and then my hate started getting less. And then I just told myself, why am I focusing on this? Like, there's so many people who love me. There's no point focusing on that. But for judgmental people, I would just like to be like, I mean, there's one life you have. Why are you like hating on other people? And I get it. You may be in an environment where you have a lot of frustrations and you want to take it out on people, but like, it just seems so wrong. And I just feel sad for them. I don't feel hatred for them, but I just feel so sad for them. I just read those comments and I'm laughing and I'm like, people like this exist. And I'm like, crazy. And it's just like, I laugh at them and I just enjoy. I'm like, guys, just look what they've written. I just laugh and I make fun of them, and I guess that's how I cope with it.
Probably the humor is always the best medicine, I think. Just laugh it off. Or sleep it off.
Sleep it off or laugh it off, make fun of them.
It's sad, isn't it? The society, and especially humans, man.
It is. And I have a privilege to laugh it off. Other people have there's people who get so much hate, and it is, however much of a thick skin you have, it takes a toll on you. And for me, 90% is love, so that 5-10% I couldn't care less. But for so many people, they may be really popular and viral, but 80-90% is hate. So for them, it's really bad, and they grow a thick skin and they're way stronger than any of us, but it's still really tough to get so much hate. To be able to be immune to hate is such a sad thing in itself,
It's like compromising, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to constantly compromise.
Yeah.
What are they thinking? What are they saying? And then you have to tone yourself down.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll accept me. And then at what point do you actually say, you put your hands up and say, I can't do this, man. Opinions. keep saying this, opinion don't pay bills.
For
It's
sure.
never going to pay bills.
Yeah.
It's not like
sure.
they say something and your bank account is
Yeah.
minus.
Yeah.
All they're doing is as you said, they're actually not even angry at you. It
Yeah.
might be a different situation that they're taking
Taking
it out
out,
on you. So
For
be
sure.
judgmental people. You shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
Don't
Judge
exist.
yourselves, yeah.
Don't exist. Yeah, judge yourself. That's one thing people never do they?
Yeah.
They'll never judge themselves.
Yeah.
Can you judge yourself? Like, how? Yeah, what can you do?
Everything starts from home. Judge yourself first.
Judge yourself.
Find the faults in yourself, and then you'll know not to find faults in others, because we all have so many faults in ourselves.
Massive.
And no one can be perfect. So
I guess it comes from insecurity as well. Like they see you doing so well
yeah.
and they see themselves stagnant and they like, okay, he's doing so well in life.
Yeah.
And then they start, it's a jealousy,
Yeah.
it's hatred.
Yeah.
And then it just grows like that.
Yeah.
And I've seen, I think the medicine to that is wisdom.
For sure.
You have to have that wisdom. And if you don't have wisdom, we can do a podcast on wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll expand.
Basically, just learn. Be like, education may be over for us after a certain age, but you never stop learning, and you need the internet is such a good teacher if you read the right things. Just keep learning. Yeah, there's no end to learning. I mean, people are doing their masters at 50 years of age. You never should stop learning and unlearning also. There's so many things we need to unlearn.
That is the biggest thing. Unlearn. With all the habit that we've gathered from kids, unlearning those habits is the biggest problem. So there's a book that I keep recommending. I've said this 100 times.
What is it?
Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself.
Okay, wow.
It's a fantastic book. So it tells you how to meditate as well and how to break the chain basically of thinking and then energizing that thinking, emotion. Because everything is thought based, right? You think of a thought, and then that actually triggers your memory, and that memory is energized with your energy, and then you it's a cycle basically that you can't come out from, and it's called karma as well, or karma in this one.
Yeah.
So karma is the same thing. People have misunderstood the word karma. Karma, they think karma is like if you do something bad to this person, and then the bad thing happens.
Yeah,
that's actually law of attraction. So something, it's how you attract the negative towards you. Karma itself is different. Karma is what you've gathered as memory and how you're acting based on the memory. Because you and I, we've gathered so much memories, right?
Yeah.
And then we act because of the memories.
True.
It's not like you're thinking new thoughts every single day. So 95% of the time, subconsciously, we had this program or the memory that we've gathered. So we're just revolving around that all the time.
Yeah.
So if you can't break that chain cycle, breaking the habit of being yourself, it's not going to happen, is it?
True.
So you have to, first is awareness. Awareness is like, you have to be aware of these things that they exist and then eventually work on that. But the best book for people, I would highly recommend if you want to gather some wisdom. I'm not saying I'm wise, but some wisdom, that's the best book. And there's other books out there as well.
That's so interesting what you said about karma. And true. We only focus on like, you did that, it's going to come back to you, but not about what karma really is.
And Sadhguru probably is the best person to explain this. I listen to him quite often.
Yeah, that's how I know about karma to my sister also.
And we think karma is what you do to this person is going to attract back. It's not that. It's the memory of what you did to that person that you're going to keep rethinking. And that's what you're going to manifest in life. Big believer of manifestation.
Yeah, me too. And it's worked like magic for me. So I can't.
Yeah. For me, it's worked negatively. But because I've tried. I know that I can manifest something, so I tried it negatively, and it was so damaging.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I realized, oh shit, it actually works.
Yeah, you're attracting negative.
Yeah, and then now I'm working towards a positive manifestation, and I've done really well.
Yeah.
In that sector as well. But anyways, let's talk about the fantastic physique that you have.
Yours.
We both are fit, but you're a model as well. You have to have that physique.
I wouldn't say model. I would say content creator. I don't think I'm too short to be a model. First of all,
it doesn't matter. That's another thing that I want to take out of people's mind, because I'm short as well. I need to say this. We are still models. We're models.
You can be any height.
You can be any height. You can be any physique. So that's another way of like people being judgmental, saying
that's true.
Oh look, he's only 5'7" or 5.
myself.
Yeah, we are models.
Yeah, we're models.
So how do you work out? And you got to have like a strict diet as well. This is not a dal bhat kind of physique. And you got 6 packs that I've seen some photos. What's your workout routine like, and what's your diet like?
So I think the main thing is to be consistent, and then consistent with your routine, with discipline, being disciplined. And my workout is nothing too intense. I do HIIT, but in my own pace, because I'm doing it by myself. 45 minutes of working out a day, but I have to just make sure that I control my calories, in the sense that eat as much as required, because I'm hungry 24/7, and if I keep eating, it's really not gonna, you can work out for 3 hours a day and it will not show. So I've realized that diet is the most important thing. Intermittent fasting is something I've always liked doing. I do intermittent fasting every day, at least 5 days a week.
16 hours.
16, 14, I did it and it was too easy for me. So now I do about 18, 19.
Oh, wow.
Because, and that's so easy for me now. By now, I don't mind it. So 18, 19 hours a day, at least 19 hours. I try to do it 5 days a week. And the days I don't do it is the weekends when I'm out. Some days I go have dinner or something. Usually I try to have dinner early. Around 5:36.
And you're done.
Yeah. And that's, my dinner is very clean, light, not cooked, raw, nutritious, veggies, fruits, protein, all of that.
You're not vegetarian, right?
No.
No.
And my lunch is normal, like dal bhat, everything. I eat like a pig.
Yeah.
My lunch is like my cheat meal. And my early dinner is post-workout meal, which is very healthy and clean and filling at the same time. And that's about all.
So your breakfast, lunch is calorific, and then...
Yeah, I don't have breakfast.
So you skip breakfast. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't feel hungry in the morning, so I'm no point eating.
Yeah, same. And I see people say that, or especially my families, they keep inviting me saying, "Oh, come, let's have like dal bhat." And I say, "No, I don't need to eat in the morning."
Yeah.
And they say, gastric problem or gastricitis or something like that. I was like, no, that's not the issue. The issue is you have milk tea in the morning.
Yeah.
Straight away after you wake up. That's the problem for gastritis.
That's for sure. Yeah.
The lactose in that is what's causing you the bloatation and all that stuff.
Sure.
So fasting is the best way to heal your body.
It is.
It is the best way to heal your body, I think. And,
it is.
But here you have to have rice. Like 80% of the people I say, they're like, what did you eat in the morning?
Yeah.
And I make stories up. Now I started making stories up. So I'm like, yeah, I ate this thing. And they're like, did you have dal bhat? I'm like, not quite, but similar.
Yeah.
But I skip breakfast in the morning as well.
They love asking this. In Nepal, the way of showing love, friends or family is like, what did you eat? Yeah. I'm like, hey, I don't eat. I mean, I don't eat at night. Like, please don't ask me. Don't remind me, because that times that I'm hungry and I'm like, my mind is controlling it. And what did you eat? I said, shut up. Stop asking that question. I know you're trying to say it out of love, but I don't want to hear that question. You can say anything
I get
else.
that all the time.
All the time.
All the time. So I just make up stories. Every time it's new thing.
Yeah.
What do you eat? They're like, bread. They think bread. They think the only thing people in UK or like Western world they eat is bread. So my grandma, she keeps saying, oh, he ate bread in the morning. She says that to everyone. She's like,
but that's what I ate in the UK when I was there for 3 months. I just ate bread because there was so much bread, it just doesn't get over.
Yeah, it is good.
The loaves are like this big.
Good bakery as well.
Yeah.
French bakery is even better. I prefer having French bakery.
UK does have a lot of bread though.
They are relying on bread and bread.
Yeah.
Mostly bread and fish and chips. And,
fish and chips.
So,
so much oil and batter.
Every now and then is good.
Yeah.
Every now and then it satisfies the soul, I call it.
For sure.
Anyway, so we're coming to an end anyway. So there's 2 questions.
Mm-hmm.
First one is, who inspires you the most, or where do you draw inspiration from?
I don't draw inspiration from anyone in particular. I see interesting people, I see good work, and I get inspired. And I try to get inspiration from myself. There are times I'm like, oh my God, I really did well. I worked hard towards this. Pat yourself in the back. You can do better. So I take inspiration from myself. I just focus on improving on myself. And the thing is, in my field of work, there's so many people you can be inspired by, and I don't choose to be inspired by one person.
No
I
particular
just,
name. Yeah.
I see a good project and I'm like, wow, this is great. I want to create work
I
like
love
that.
that. I love that mindset. You can get inspired from anyone,
Yeah.
no matter how low they're working or
Yeah.
what they're doing in life. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be someone up the top all the time. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is the problem, isn't it? We
It's
look for role
I
models.
see students and I see them working hard in their thing, and I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't do this at their age.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I may have come ahead in terms of work, but like I learn so much from all age groups.
Is there a particular role model that you looked up when you were a kid? Anyone that you were like, oh, look at that person. Quite good. Could be a Hollywood thing. Or...
Yeah, when I got to know I was gay, then I looked up for people who spoke about, Lady Gaga was there. There was Ricky Martin who was out, and Prabal Gurung. Obviously, he was from Nepal, so popular and gay. So it was like, wow, what an example he set for people from our community, For me, like I remember my grandmother telling me, oh my God, you're also going to be as popular as Prabal Gurung, you people are very talented. I'm like, yay, thank you, Prabal. So these three were, I think, my role models when I was growing up. Yeah, you could say that.
Great stuff. Nice. So the final question is, what do you want to tell your fans, people watching this? How do you think you can inspire them? And what's one thing that you think is your strongest asset and something that people can learn from you? What do you think it's a hard question because people focus on their weaknesses so much, and the strength comes like, oh, what's my strength?
Yeah.
What do you think is your biggest strength? And
I think my biggest strength is I can be myself. I've learned to be myself. And people seem to like that. So I think your biggest strength is be frank and forthright.
Yeah.
And you may make mistakes and accept it and admit to it and just learn. Be ready to learn. So I think my biggest thing would be that I'm myself. I'm not faking it. I'm being my true self. So that I think is
be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. Be yourself and be authentic, because in the field that I work in, if you are fake, people see right through you. Like, people aren't dumb.
No.
People are really smart. Everyone has a phone. Everyone has the internet. Everyone's street smart. They know it. You can't just fool people like that. And they see through, So the only way out is be yourself. If you are bad, change it in front of them. But just be yourself and improve if you think that, you're making mistakes or you're wrong in certain ways.
Yeah.
That's how you improve, I feel.
That's really good. Really good. Really inspiring as well. So, last parting comment to your fans.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want to say?
Always so thankful and grateful. I can't believe that, it still takes me time to digest it. There's some days I'm in bed at night. I'm like, oh my God, I've come a long way. But I'm like, it's crazy. But I think I have a long way to go.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening. It's just the beginning. Yeah. And no, but to all of you all, thank you. You all really... all your support means the world. It makes me grow as a person, which is the most important part. Like, I can be myself and I'm more confident about myself. I have better self-esteem. It's only because so many people love and support me. Friends will always support you, but when others are supporting you and
strangers
supporting me, then that's something which makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah, makes you happy.
Yeah.
I get that sometimes when random person comes and sends a message saying, oh, you're doing well.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man,
so good,
you can see this.
Yeah. That's why I read each and every DM of mine. I don't miss any. It's just I don't reply to all. I can't, because DMs will be filled and I'll miss out on work.
Yeah.
But I read each and every DM, because every DM which compliments me, I feel so good.
Yeah. Perfect. We missed this.
Which one?
We'll cut this out anyway, and then we'll add it.
Okay.
Let's talk about your education in London.
Oh yeah. So it was so much fun.
What did you study? You were there for 3 months, you said?
Yeah, I was there for 3 months. I wanted to just have a refreshers course in fashion.
Yeah.
Because I completed styling. I was joining as a content creator, and I wanted to start a business in the fashion line. So I was like, let me learn a little bit more. And I did this certificate course in Condé Nast College of Fashion. I did this course called the Vogue Fashion Certificate. I guess Vogue will never leave me. I'm so love it. So I did the certificate course for three months, which was so much fun. London was so much fun. I really miss it. And yeah, I made some really fun friends from Nepal while I was there. If you know of Lex Limbu,
Yeah.
he took me around. He made me meet so many people. And yeah, it was a good 3 months.
Nice.
I learned so much.
I'm actually in a process of speaking to Lex. I haven't sent him anything, but I want him to be on the podcast as well from
It'll be
UK.
so inspiring. Yeah.
So when I go back, I'll do one with him. And after seeing this, I think he'll be.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Look,
He's so inspiring. Actually, he's also one of the people I looked up to while growing up because he was also open and he was so popular when I hadn't even started in this field.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he was so kind to me. He took me all around, and we had such a blast in London. The weather was horrible.
Yeah. It's always bad.
Yeah, I was there like peak winter, like November, December, October, November, December. October was fine, but cold and breezy.
And rainy.
Rainy is all the time. Like I was like, what?
We have our rains all the time.
All the time. And I hate the rains. So yeah, but it was interesting to see the sunset at 4 p.m. and like
don't talk about
the
that.
nights were long.
Because when I do go back, it's that time, and it's quite depressing. It is quite depressing. Right. The final bit is we're gonna add this in the end. Is how can someone get involved in your industry if someone's thinking of getting in the creative industry and try to not become you but to do what you're doing? What should they do?
So
what are the steps to
I think just get on social media and just keep throwing content. Just be consistent with what you do and just work, focus. And this is something that students do. I mean, you have TikTok, Instagram booming when you are still in college and still in school. So many of these famous creators have 15, 16, 17.
Crazy.
I'm like, wow, what was I doing when I was then? And if I had that kind of reach and engagement, which I have 10 years at 27, I mean, by 27, where would I have been? So you guys have this big potential to do amazing. And it's such a fun thing to do, right? But it's also a passion, which will reap benefits in the future if you're serious about being a TikToker or like a YouTuber or an Instagrammer. So just be active, You all are young, enjoy your youth, create fun stuff, study at the same time. And there is opportunity for everyone in Nepal. That equal opportunity, not equal, but there's good opportunity for people because people value hard work and honesty, and that's good to see. That's not, I don't see that as much as in India as I do here. In India also it's coming up, but here
people are welcoming.
Very welcoming, loving. If you are good, if you are from any background, anywhere, they don't care about that. They will love you and support you.
Fair enough.
So take advantage of that.
And it is a wrap.
Yay.
Thank you, Parakram.
Not gay, but like, wow.
Finally. This guy's gonna go away. Leave me alone.
No, it's fun. It really passed fast, this time. It's been over an hour, I think.
Yeah, I think almost an hour. So it's
been like that.
The content is so amazing that I'm so happy that we've covered the questions. I know I fired a lot of questions at you, and it was impromptu as well because I didn't tell you what questions I was going to ask.
Yeah,
and the stuff that you've said, I'm sure people are going to get inspired. I've taken a lot of my side notes in my head. It's been really good speaking with you, and I really, really want to thank you for letting us do this as well.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun. Yeah,
I really appreciate it because it was very short notice as well, and you managed to free time for us.
Yeah, now I was free this whole week, so it was good. You messaged, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm free. Let's do it." Yeah,
perfect time. And I hope that people watching this, I'd really hope that you watch this. I know there's a lot of fans in the UK, globally as well, and in Nepal. They're gonna love this. This is a fantastic episode as well. I might just put a teaser, just a little bit of teaser, but this will come out soon, and I hope you had fun. And
lots of fun. It was nice. It was so candid and relaxed.
As raw as possible.
As raw as possible.
As raw. Yes. But thank you very much.
It was so much fun.
We're gonna smash it. So team, man, come on. I keep doing this all the time.
He's got the light on and just selfie lighted up.
Come on. I have to introduce the team. Bikash and Himal, come on. Stop shaking the cameras.
shorts for that.
Oh, he's got shades on.
Yeah, I think I should have done that too.
You got shades?
No, I didn't read it.
Right.
Yeah.
Vikas and Himav, thank you. Thank you for being
Thanks,
here.
guys.
Bye bye. See you next time.
Yeah, see you in the next.
So,
Yes.
So episode 7 all done, and there you go. Parakram, the sweetheart of the nation. And it's a wrap. Thank you. Let's take some photos as
Fun,
well.
yeah.
एउटा